What's up, good people? I am Brandy Lucas. I am a Dallas, Texas short hairstylist, salon owner, and lover of all things pixie cuts. And today I am coming to chit chat with you guys, my short hair community. Whether you rocking short hair or you thinking about it or you love it, whatever, wherever you fall on the spectrum, everybody's welcome. Today we're talking relaxers and short hair. And I want to set some things straight about relaxers and the timetables that you should be following with your relaxers. So if you're interested in keeping your hair fried, dyed, and laid to whatever side you prefer, while still keeping it intact and healthy on your head, then this video is for you. I'll start at the beginning. What is a relaxer? A relaxer is a chemical that allows you to straighten the texture of your hair. So either you can utilize a relaxer to lightly straighten out your curl. You want to wear your hair in a curly style, or relaxers give you the ability to completely straighten your hair. Relaxers and perms are interchangeable often in conversation, but I have to start out making sure that I help you guys understand that a relaxer and a perm is two completely different chemical processes.
Hold up, what?
A relaxer is a chemical used to straighten or loosen the curl pattern of your hair, while on the other hand, a perm is a chemical service that's used to put curls in your hair. So if you're familiar, if you anything like me and you are an 80s baby, and you know anything about Wave Nouveau, Carefree Curl, or any of the curl processors that we rocked in the 80s, that is technically a perm. So from time to time, y'all can expect me to be an auntie and throw the technical terms and just to help us understand what's really going on with our hair. I think it does such a great job to help us better articulate when we're talking about our hair, when we're explaining things in the salon, and also when we are buying products from people who really have no idea what's going on with our hair. It is a great opportunity for you to be able to use the proper terminology so that in the end you end up with what you intended to have. So remember, relaxers and perms are not the same thing. If you are looking for your hair to be straightened or to relax your curl pattern, then you want a relaxer. I'm asked all the time, how often should I relax my hair? That is not a one size fits all. So all of the timetables that I'm about to share with you guys for relaxing your hair is a general sense. There are some particulars that you would like to take into consideration when you are figuring out what's best for your hair and your needs that I'll talk a little bit about after I break down this timetable. So just know that this is a general scope for chemical services for relaxers, and not Brandy said I'm supposed to do it every this, so I'm gonna do it every this. No, sis, I want you to hear the timetable, but I also want you to take the characteristics of your hair and your lifestyle into consideration and make the best gauge of timetable for you based on both of the factors. If you are going for a full relaxer, which means your new growth is the hair that has grown in since your last relaxer retouch. Far too often, we are going in, we're taking relaxer and we are putting it on the entire hair strand from the root to the ends of the hair. That is the worst and most destructive way to relax your hair. You want it straight, it will be straight, but it might be so straight that it slides straight down the sink when you rinse it out. Never do that, which is one reason why I am very heavy on promoting that chemical services should be done by a professional stylist, and definitely by someone other than yourself who can actually stand behind you and see your hair strand, see where the new growth is, see the hair that has already been relaxed, so that you can avoid as much as possible of overlapping relaxer on hair that does not need to be straightened. But that's neither here nor there. That's the auntie in me telling you guys what I know to be true and what's important and what damages a lot of our hair in the African American community. So please take that into consideration. If you are wondering the timetable on a full relaxer, meaning a relaxer retouch, generally the scale for a relaxer retouch is anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks. This can be spread out over 100 different instances because everybody's hair is different, everybody's situation is different. Some people have color, everybody's situation is different. So this is a general rule that you would like to have your hair fully relaxed in regards to your new growth all the way through your head every 6 to 8 weeks. And we'll jump into the particulars that you want to keep into consideration coming up. Next up are our partial relaxers, our halos, our partial halo. That's the terminology that I usually use, but this is a relaxer that is only put on the sides and back of the head. So you would do a partial relaxer if you were wearing your sides and back short. In my life, Pixie life, a timetable for a partial or halo relaxer is generally every 2 to 4 weeks. If you are a person who has a very active lifestyle, if you sweat in your scalp, if your hair is of a curlier texture, then you would probably lean closer to the every 2 week time scale. If you are a person who has a less curly texture, you're not sweating, you can pretty much lay your hair down, not too much of an active lifestyle, then you may be able to make it every 4 weeks. So everybody's individual place in between that scale will be different based on your individual hair texture and your lifestyle. Then we have our virgin relaxers. Now, our virgin relaxers are the only instance, emphasis on only emphasis. Now we have our virgin relaxers. This is the absolute only time that the relaxer should be put on the entire hair strand. Not when you're getting a retouch. Remember that. I'm not going to go there again, but remember what I said. So a virgin relaxer is generally done on short hair. If you have not had a relaxer touch up in 12 weeks, generally that next relaxer that you go into would be a virgin relaxer if your hair is short. Virgin relaxers are relaxers on hair that is not chemically processed already. So if you've been rocking braids, we're in the midst of this quarantine. So if you have been doing a protective style and you haven't been to the salon since March or April, and you're going to the salon months after not having any retouches in between, you most likely will be opting for a virgin relaxer. The last thing that you want to do is have your hair that has a lot of new growth only partially relaxed, and then you got these poofy pockets of fuzzy hair and straight roots. Relaxers are a science. It is a chemical. I know that far too often, for years and years and years, we have been doing these services at home ourselves. Mom has been relaxing our hair. As time has gone forward, chemical services and relaxers have become more expensive in the salon. But as a stylist, I am here to tell you that it is because it is a chemical service that you need to know what you're doing. You need to be able to see. You need to know how to pivot when things are not going right during the process of a relaxer to make sure that you do not compromise the integrity of the hair. And if I am relaxing my own hair, I can only see so much. I'm going on feel. I'm going on just what I think is best, because I am not up there where I can actually see the hair, see how the hair is responding, see how the hair is smoothing and swelling and everything that happens in the chemical process. So virgin relaxers should be done on short hair if you have been 12 weeks or more past your last relaxer. Some of the factors that you want to take into consideration when figuring out when your particular time for a retouch, a partial, a virgin relaxer is first, your stylist. You should be going to someone you trust. I have heard a bevy of people's experience. Some people feel like their hair gets over processed when they go to the salon because their service provider always wants to give them a relaxer and they don't think they need it. And there have also been times where people feel like they needed a relaxer and she didn't give it to me, yada yada yada. We want to make sure that we're building a rapport and a relationship with someone who we have properly vetted and we have open communication with, someone that we can build a relationship with where you trust them. You should be able to trust your stylist to say, this is the time that you need a relaxer, this is when you need this is when you need a treatment, and know that this is a person of integrity. This is not about money, but this is about this person making sure that my hair stays at its healthiest state. Your lifestyle is also another huge part to take into consideration when you're figuring out your personal regimen for relaxers. So if you are someone who works out, if you are a person who has night sweats, if you're going through the change and you find your hair perspiring a lot, if you are a bad sleeper, if you work somewhere where you have to constantly have your head covered so your hair is getting smashed down a lot, you're wearing something on your hair that is not giving it a lot of moisture, maybe you have to wear a cap in like a surgeon's office or things like this. Everybody's situation will be different, so you want to take into consideration if you have any of those things going on that you may have to lean a little closer to getting your partial relaxer or your halo relaxer every 2 weeks, like I said earlier. But if you're a person who doesn't sweat very much, you don't have an active lifestyle, you're never covering your head unless you're covering it for bed, then you can lean on the side of having your hair retouched every 4 weeks. Again, retouch is just the perimeter of your hair, so your sides and your back. It will keep it, it makes it so much easier for you to be able to maintain your hair, pull your hair together at home if you ever need to, and just maintain your style longer once you visited the salon. You'll also want to consider your hair's texture. So thicker texture hair or more coarse, coily, curly texture hair, however you prefer for it to be said or categorized, those textures of hair, like my own, need to have a relaxer a little more often than finer, thinner, straighter texture hair. So I lean closer toward the every 2 week relaxer partial, while someone with finer, thinner hair may be able to stretch their partials every 4 weeks. Now, when it comes to my personal full relaxer, you do have the option, and I do this a lot with my clients, and I also do it myself. I stretch my full relaxers out as long as I can. When my hair is in this length, I'm not able to stretch it as much as I am in the fall and winter months when I have a little bit of a longer bang, because when I have a little bit of length to the top of my hair, and if you have a little bit more length, then when you mold your hair with a proper product and you go through with a little bit of heat 1 time a week, you're more likely to be able to get away with your roots being a little bit thicker if you have a little more length of the hair that you silked it out 1 time. You're going through making sure that you're tying your hair down, following your nighttime protocol to make sure that you don't just completely wreck your hairstyle. Then you're more likely to be able to stretch your relaxer out a little bit further. When I am in my hotter months, when I'm wearing my pixie short, I am usually at about 5 weeks, maybe 6. When I say 6, I'm pushing it because it becomes a struggle to even mold my hair down. But that time duration gets a little bit shorter based on the length of hair that I have. You can stretch your relaxer in the top part of your hair. The service will be your full relaxer a little bit longer based on your hair's texture as well as the length of your hair. I hope that this was helpful to help you understand how to keep your hair healthy while maintaining your relaxer. The scale is very fluid. I hope that you guys have a better understanding of your personal characteristic, texture, lifestyle, and how those things play a part into how you shape your own personal relaxer scale. Also want you guys to make sure that you take into consideration that relaxers are chemical services, and that although we've been doing them ourselves for years and years and years, things have changed. Chemicals have changed. The food we eat changed. The environment has changed. And I personally, as a stylist, am seeing huge changes in people's hair from over-processing. I thank you guys so much for catching this video. If there are questions that you would like me to answer about short hair or relaxers, do not hesitate to drop them down and below. And I have something for those of you guys who want to know more about how to maintain your hair while wearing your relaxer. If you look down in the description below, I have an ebook that is the complete guide to how to maintain your short hair at home or between salon visits. And I have taken out the chapter that I wrote about relaxers, and it is available for those of you guys who would like to dig deeper. Click that link down in the description. Leave me any questions that you may have, and I would love and appreciate you guys if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so that you know when I upload another video. If you are not already following me on Instagram, please do that too. You can find me there at I am Brandy Lucas. I look forward to chatting with you guys very, very soon. I will see you in the next video.